हेलो एंड वेलकम टू प्लैनेट बॉलीवुड। 30 जनवरी 2019 के दिन द गांधी मर्डर ये फिल्म पूरी दुनिया में रिलीज होने वाली है, लेकिन ये फिल्म इंडिया में रिलीज नहीं होगी। इसलिए नहीं क्योंकि सीबीएफसी ने अप्रूव नहीं किया है। सीबीएफसी ने इस मूवी को अप्रूव कर दिया है, लेकिन इस मूवी के मेकर्स को मिले हैं लाइफ थ्रेट। एंड इस मूवी के मेकर्स इस वक्त हमारे साथ हैं, द प्रोड्यूसर ऑफ द मूवी मिस लक्ष्मी अय्यर एंड द डायरेक्टर ऑफ द मूवी मिस्टर पंकज सहगल। आप दोनों का बहुत बहुत स्वागत है।
थैंक यू सो मच।
सबसे पहले तो व्यूअर्स को बताएंगे कि फिल्म, व्हाट इज दिस फिल्म ऑल अबाउट? कुड यू जस्ट पुट लाइट टू दैट?
He's the best person to explain
Absolutely.
about the film.
Pankaj,
I think
please
we
go
have
ahead.
research, and one important fact is that he is born on 2nd of October.
Oh, okay.
That's coincidental.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So yes. So this film is about Mahatma Gandhi's assassination, and the events that surrounded the assassination, which actually begin immediately as an aftermath of the partition of India,
Right.
which has set India on a course of a civil war, primarily because India has got a very strong Muslim minority. This is, I'm talking about post-partition India. And there is a very strong pitch by the Congress to keep India secular democracy. And there are certain elements in the society who think that if Pakistan is already there and it is an Islamic country, and remember this is Pakistan plus Bangladesh, okay? So this is already there and it's already an Islamic country, then the Muslims of India must be sent to Pakistan forcibly. And of course the refugees who are in India, who have come to India from Pakistan, are telling some torrid tales about what really happened, and they believe that they need to get houses, which they have given up in Pakistan, and so they should take over houses from the Muslims in India. And with this situation, India is getting very severely affected. The police is finding it a situation which is completely out of control. The Muslims of India have been part of the British Indian Army and are armed and are getting prepared for what must be a civil war. They are not prepared to go to Pakistan, but they are prepared to die in a country that they believe is theirs. Now with this backdrop is of course Gandhi, who is now 78 years old, and normally people in Congress believe that he's a spent force and he's not got anything left in him. He's delivered what he could deliver, and now it's a country that we must handle. At this point in time, Gandhi goes on a fast against the 55 crores which have to be paid to Pakistan as part of a pre-partition agreement. Sometimes people confuse and say that Gandhi wanted to give 55 crores.
Right.
No, Gandhi did not want to give any crores to anybody, but it was part of a pre-partition agreement made between the Congress and the Muslim League with the British, of course. Lord Mountbatten was involved in that, and this became the trigger of Gandhi going for his last fast. But when he fasted, he came up not just with the 55 crores, because immediately the Congress said we'll pay the 55 crores, but Gandhi continued to fast, saying that I want the Indians to come together, the Muslims and the Hindus to come together, forcing those elements who were part of, let us say, the fanatic elements who were part of Hindu Mahasabha at the time, taking a call that this means that Gandhi must be eliminated. Now, the movie looks at it from a police angle point of view, and there comes the thing that the police officers arrested Madan Lal on 20th of January 1948, and Madan Lal was part of this gang. And on the next day, 21st, he had already given the details of the people who were going to come and assassinate Gandhi. So the police already knew about Narayan Apte, they knew about Vishnu Karkare, they also knew the newspaper that these guys were running, which was Agrani. And with this information, the DIB in India at that time, which was Sanjeevi Pillai, gave this information to the DIG Pune, which was UH Rana, and told him to go and get these people arrested. He also sent a force of a DSP from Delhi to Bombay to meet with Jimmy Nagarwala, who was the DCP at that time, telling him that we must immediately take action and arrest these people.
So overall, from what we understand, is this entire movie is from a different perspective and from a police side of the angle which has not been shown before to our audience.
But not just that, it actually looks at, and I'm here making a little bit of a bold statement, that Gandhi's assassination had become like a necessity for India. If Gandhi had not died, not assassinated, India would probably not have survived as a country. We would have broken up into many principalities. And this is the premise of the movie. It actually looks at Gandhi's contribution, Gandhi's biggest contribution which is his assassination. Now, Lord Mountbatten made a very strong statement about it, which was that Gandhi achieved in his death what he strived for all his life, and that was an end to the Hindu-Muslim communal frenzy. So this is the premise of the movie. The movie looks at Gandhi's, what I would say is the biggest contribution. Now, all of us believe that Gandhi's biggest contribution is his fight for independence. I believe that Gandhi's biggest contribution is actually survival of India as a secular democracy. Now, remember that India was a lot of little principalities, and many of those principalities were continuing as some kind of princely states. Gwalior, Bhopal, Hyderabad, all of these were continuing as princely states. And if India had broken up into a civil war, these would have declared independence. This is where the movie looks at.
So, Pankaj, from what we hear is you've received a CBFC approval. The
Absolutely.
film has received the approval. But about the certification, are you happy with the certification? We'd like to know that.
We are happy.
And
I'm
which
sure,
certification has the film received?
we have
We have an adult certification in the film. We went through a kind of a rigorous process of certification because remember, we refuse to call it a fictional account.
Right.
Okay, and we are not even calling it a conspiracy theory film. What we are saying is that this movie opens up the conspiracy that actually took place. So what we have just done is we have gone through all the documentation, which are about 30 odd books that have been written on this, including the J.L. Kapoor report, which was published in 1967-68, which actually covers the conspiracy surrounding the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi. Now, it is a notified fact that people in Gwalior and Bhopal, some sections, celebrated the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi 3 hours before the event. So, this means that there were people who already knew that it is going to happen. The more surprising thing is that Mahatma Gandhi himself knew that it is about to happen because he told his niece a couple of days before his assassination that call me a Mahatma if I die with the bullets of an assassin with the name of God, Lord Ram on my lips. Now, this is a very big statement to make unless or until you really knew you are about to die. And his last statement to Sardar Patel, which is that there were certain people who were there to meet him, but that last day his meeting with Sardar Patel lasted longer than it was supposed to be and he was late for his prayers. So Sardar Patel told him that some people have come from Kathiawar to meet you. And he stated that I will meet them after the prayers if I am still alive.
And this is indeed
Now,
covered in the film.
these
in the
are,
trailer.
it's also there in the trailer of the film. But more importantly, this is a documented fact, which means there is, this particular part of the history is so exciting that it doesn't need to be fictionalized. Therefore, we insisted with CBFC that we will not mention that this is a fictional account. Therefore, when we went to the FCAT, to the Appellate Tribunal to get the relief, of course, Justice Serene, who was the chairperson of the FCAT, told us that you have to submit a lot of documentary evidence because here you are refusing to say it's fictional. So I want this to be proven, that to be proven. So there were about 17 different accounts on which he asked for documentary evidence, which is irrefutable. Because at the end of the day, he's a judge, even if he's a retired judge. So he went through the process. We submitted all those documents, and then got the CBFC clearance. Now,
almost 1 year, right?
It took almost a
1
year.
year. So it is a long process.
The challenge that you are telling us is, of course, a very relevant one. We've got an adult rating for this film. It's not been given a UA rating, while we all know a lot of films with a lot of violence, with a lot of dirty language, appear to get UA rating without any problems. So yes, we argued this point, but we were kind of told that it's not going to happen. So beyond the point, don't push your luck. So that's where it was.
Okay. So I just want to ask this, बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि CBFC जब मूवी को अप्रूव नहीं करती तो मूवी रिलीज नहीं होती, लेकिन यहाँ पे बिकॉज आप लोगों को लाइफ थ्रेट्स मिले हैं और उसके बाद आप कह रहे हैं कि हम इंडिया में पिक्चर रिलीज नहीं करेंगे क्योंकि गांधी जी के ऊपर मूवी अगर आए तो इंडिया सबसे बड़ा मार्केट है, लेकिन आप उसी मार्केट को एक्सप्लोर नहीं कर रहे हैं बिकॉज आपको लाइफ थ्रेट्स मिले. तो क्या आपको लगता है ये एक कहीं ना कहीं गलत एग्जाम्पल सेट करेगा? बिकॉज अगर किसी ने एक बार लाइफ थ्रेट दिया, आपने मूवी रिलीज नहीं की, नेक्स्ट टाइम के लिए उनकी और हिम्मत बढ़ गया, अरे इनको तो हम देख लेंगे.
Definitely, it is a point, and this live threat thing has not started just now.
Obviously, a film like this, people know when you start making a film, so we have been getting it So
In
it's almost,
2015, we had submitted the script.
Yeah, so right from the beginning
So
it came.
तब से ही ये problem has been there. We were told clearly that we will not get a permission to shoot this film in India.
Okay.
That was the reason
तो
why.
उस समय आपको threat मिला था?
उस तरफ उस time पे it had started not with threats of that kind, but like कि
You
ये
get these,
don't dream that you are going to get an approval to shoot this film.
तो ये कौन बोल रहे थे ये लोग?
These are people who unofficially, we cannot mention their names, but yes, you
But they
get
were
it. There are
CBFC.
sources, they mention, they come and tell you, don't shoot this film in India. We'll come and, start
इसकी permission नहीं
shooting.
मिलेगी. So permission you will not, because see,
You're
it was
not
a Hollywood
encouraged,
film.
indirectly, don't do it in India. So we shot the film in Sri Lanka, UK, and India later on, few parts of it after a year. And
Mostly plates.
Yeah, and then 34 nationalities worked on this film together. So it was a lot of hard work, just not the shooting. The other side of it, it is not easy to get all these actors with the crew, international crew together. So obviously a film like this is made with a lot of heart. You want to tell things history which is not covered in India, which people should know, and the kids today should be aware of what has happened. And Gandhi should be remembered not just on the a currency note. There's more to his life and on holidays which are there in India. So we want this. Of course, India is the first market we wanted to focus on, and that was the whole idea of making a film on Gandhi. And then
we dubbed the movie.
We have the Hindi versions also.
Yeah, we shot wherever the Indian character actors were there. We shot the movie in English and Hindi.
Okay.
And wherever whatever was remaining, we dubbed it in Hindi. Not only Hindi, we did Tamil, we did Telugu, and we did Malayalam. So after all of that, to not be able to release in India is of course a huge setback.
No, my question would be that if you've received the threats, have you ever thought of going to the law, to the police, to complain about the things?
Have come because my company is based in Dubai, so he lives in Dubai. The team is in Dubai. I'm here, so I have changed my residence, frankly, and I don't really, people are not aware of many things. I keep it low profile.
Okay.
So yes, we don't want to mix the other business which is there with the film. So that is the whole idea, and we have not really approached the police here because Dubai, they tell you if it is in Dubai, so you should complain in Dubai indirectly. So that is the, but yes, we have got support and anti things indirectly a lot of times. So that is the thing. And like I told you, there are other business involved, so we don't want to dig deeper and tell people about it.
So when was that point when you decided कि ये हम film India में release नहीं कर सकते, इसका सिर्फ एक ही solution है कि इसे abroad में release करें?
No, abroad was always clear.
Okay.
See, why it was developed as a Hollywood film. Unofficially, some friends at CBFC had told us that don't even think of shooting this film in India, and also had suggested that better to shoot this film in English, because in case if India eventually bans the film, then at least you will have a worldwide release, which at least means that the story will eventually reach India as well.
Yeah.
It's impossible to stop a story if it reaches everywhere else. Now we are releasing in US, Canada, UK, Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, New Zealand, Russia, Pakistan.
Okay.
Okay. So the movie is coming in theaters in Pakistan. So it is impossible to stop the story from coming to India. It will reach India, even if we are not able to release. So we realized this from the onset itself. There is only one movie that has really been made on Gandhi, except Munna Bhai MBBS. For those who think that is a movie on Gandhi, but yes, it is on philosophy of Gandhi.
Yeah.
And that was Gandhi of Richard Attenborough, made in 1982.
Yeah.
And that was also not developed in India. So the fact remains that we Indians have a love-hate relationship with Gandhi. There are those who really read history and who understand what is Gandhi's contribution. There are those who listen to others and believe that it is impossible to get independence through non-violence, and ignore the fact that non-violence was not just Gandhi's principle. Gandhi got this principle from Tolstoy. Okay. And Tolstoy had theoretical knowledge about passive resistance, and he had documented it very strongly. Gandhi put it into practice. So Gandhi has influenced generations of people all over the globe.
And that's why it's very sad that we cannot watch this film in India. And I'm still very disturbed with the fact that आपने एक film बनाई है. एक creative liberty है आपके पास as a director, as a producer, that you can choose to make what subject you want to. And because now you're receiving these threats, you've decided not to release in India. I still want to sit here and ask you that what did you do and how did you handle these threats? Because it's so disturbing that somebody's snatching away that creativity and that hard work that you've put in that project, and people here in India cannot watch the film.
और उनकी हिम्मत और बढ़ जाएगी दोबारा,
No, but look, it depends upon what kind of threat it is. threats are of two kinds. One which is just somebody telling you that don't do it or else. And the other thing is when somebody starts kind of like having information about you. When you came into the country, when you left the country.
They have information about you.
She lives in Bandra and so we had to shift her out of Bandra. Our car was getting tagged, so we had to remove that. Our other businesses in India were being threatened. And some of them are quite sensitive, so we of course did not want to do that.
So didn't the first instinct be go to the police and take protection from them, even though you have decided not to release it in India?
No, the decision to not release in India has just been taken about 10 days, 12 days back.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I just...
But police ke paas gaye ki nahi?
No, I have gone. I have gone there.
In Dubai he's gone. So, yeah.
Also in Delhi, I have been to the police office and it was very clear. Number one, where is your company based?
Okay.
If you're not based in India, then your company, as a company, cannot lodge a complaint unless or until either if you are a representative office in India, which we don't have, or your company is based out of India.
But you're a citizen of India, right?
Yes, but that is secondary. Let me come to this. Secondly, the threats that we were receiving were coming on a Dubai number, which I have, and most of, or let's say almost all of the threats that I was receiving were almost always when I was in Dubai, which is of course where I am. So, and sometimes I tried to give them the detail that it is covering details like you've just come back and so on, which not everybody can know that you've just flown back, right? Unless or until this kind of information is getting passed on through some software in immigration or somewhere else. But it was very clear and I was explained very politely. I went to Hoskas police station and in Delhi. It was explained to me very politely that this complaint can only be registered if either the event took place in India, which it did not take place. If the phone number that was called was an Indian phone number, then we can start putting it on tracking.
Okay.
Or if your company is based out of India, when you can say that you're an employee of this company based in India and you've been threatened.
Time for a short breather on Planet Bollywood. लेकिन आप कहीं मत जाइए because we'll be back after a short break.